There's a lot of excitement swirling around the Pittsburgh Steelers lately, and one of the hottest topics right now involves the possibility of adding a dynamic new weapon to their offense, Jonnu Smith. If you've been keeping an eye on NFL, trade rumors, and recent reports, you might have heard that the Steelers are seriously considering a trade to bring Jonnu Smith into their fold. This isn't just any player. They're targeting someone who has proven himself as a top-tier tight end, a bona fide playmaker who had a breakout season last year with the Miami Dolphins. The fact that Arthur Smith, now the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, has a long history with Jonnu makes this potential move even more intriguing. For those unfamiliar, Arthur Smith first worked with Jonnu during his time as the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, where Jonnu first began, to showcase the explosiveness and versatility that define his game. When Arthur moved on to the Atlanta Falcons, he didn't hesitate to bring Jonnu Smith along, valuing the unique skill set that he brings to the table. Last season with the Dolphins, Jonnu reached new heights, earning his first Pro Bowl nod and setting franchise records for receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns for a tight end. It was truly a career year that put him on the radar of many NFL fans and teams looking to boost their offensive arsenal. Now, the Steelers, as we know, have already invested significantly in their tight end position by signing Pat Freiermuth to a sizable contract last offseason. Pat's been a reliable target and a solid all-around player, but the offense has long needed more weapons, especially in the receiving game. The question naturally arises, why would the Steelers go out and try to acquire another tight end when they already have one locked in? The answer lies in how Arthur Smith designs his offense. Arthur is known for favoring 12 personnel and 13 personnel sets, formations that include 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at once. This style not only helps bolster the running game with extra blockers, but also opens up creative passing opportunities. Having 2 tight ends who can both block effectively and pose a serious threat in the passing game forces defenses to stay honest, keeps linebackers off balance, and creates mismatches all over the field. In this context, adding Jonnu Smith to pair alongside Pat Freiermuth would give the Steelers one of the most dynamic tight end tandems in the entire NFL. Jonnu Smith isn't just a big-bodied blocker. He's an explosive athlete with the ability to make defenders miss after the catch. In Tennessee and Atlanta, he earned a reputation as a relentless runner who could turn short catches into big gains with his speed and agility. The stats back this up. In 2024, Jonnu caught 88 passes for 884 yards and scored 8 touchdowns, all franchise records for a Dolphins tight end. That level of production isn't something you find just anywhere, and it speaks volumes about his ability to impact the game. For the Steelers, who have been searching for a reliable number 2 wide receiver for years, a player like Jonnu offers a valuable alternative. He can stretch the field vertically, exploit mismatches in the middle, and provide quarterback Kenny Pickett with a dependable, athletic target who can change the momentum of a game. Of course, no trade comes without cost. Reports indicate that Miami is open to trading Jonnu Smith as he's seeking to restructure his contract. His current deal pays him $4.8 million this season, but he's understandably looking for a bigger payday given his breakout performance. The Dolphins, recognizing this, have been exploring trade options to find a partner willing to take him on, especially since his preference is to remain in Miami with a reworked deal. For the Steelers, this means they'd have to negotiate not just a draft pick compensation, but also a new contract for Jonnu. Realistically, the price tag would likely be a mid to late round draft pick, maybe a 5th rounder, along with a respectable contract offer that reflects his value but doesn't break the bank. Some Steelers fans might be hesitant, thinking, we just gave Pat Freiermuth a big contract last year. Why add another tight end instead of focusing on other areas? The answer lies in how you build a modern, versatile offense. The NFL is evolving rapidly, and offenses that can deploy multiple threats on every snap tend to have an edge. Having 2 strong receiving tight ends means Pittsburgh can create formations that confuse defenses and open up running lanes by forcing linebackers to cover pass-catching tight ends. That versatility is invaluable, especially as the Steelers try to balance their traditional power-running identity with a more dynamic passing game. It's also worth noting that the current Steelers tight end group is somewhat unbalanced. Pat Freiermuth excels as a receiver, while Darnell Washington plays a more traditional blocking-heavy role. Adding Jonah would give the Steelers a legitimate two tight end receiving threat on the field simultaneously, which is rare and difficult to defend. That could open up a host of creative play calls for Arthur Smith to exploit. You could see scenarios where the offense lines up in heavy personnel packages, yet still spreads the field vertically, keeping defenders guessing and creating mismatches. At the second level, on the flip side, the Steelers need to be smart about not overpaying. While Jonu's production was outstanding last year, he's still relatively young and has some contract demands that might strain the salary cap. Pittsburgh will have to weigh the benefits of adding such a weapon against the financial cost and how it fits into their overall roster construction. It's a balancing act between adding impact players and maintaining enough flexibility to address other pressing needs, whether on defense or elsewhere on offense. Despite the challenges, the potential upside of bringing Jonnu Smith to Pittsburgh is exciting. If the Steelers can acquire him for a reasonable price, he would immediately become one of the most dangerous offensive weapons on the team. Pairing Jonnu with Pat Freiermuth not only strengthens the tight end position, but also adds another layer to the offense's complexity. Defenses would have to respect the threat of both players, which could open up opportunities for the running game and for receivers downfield. One can also imagine the positive impact this could have on Kenny Pickett, the young quarterback who is still developing his game. Having reliable targets who can win one-on-one matchups and turn short gains into big plays can accelerate a quarterback's growth. Pickett would benefit greatly from the added security and versatility that Jonnu Smith would bring. It's not just about raw talent, but also about fit and chemistry, and Jonnu's history with Arthur Smith suggests that the learning curve would be minimal. The playbook is likely already tailored to Jonnu's strengths, which means he could hit the ground running and make an immediate impact. Of course, it's important to remember that these things take time, and negotiations can fall apart. The trade talks are ongoing, and no official deal has been announced yet. Miami wants to find the right partner, and the Steelers have to decide if Jonnu fits their long-term plan and budget. Fans should temper expectations, but remain hopeful. If the trade comes to fruition, it could be one of the more exciting moves of the offseason for Pittsburgh. At the end of the day, what this potential trade represents is the Steelers' willingness to be aggressive in shaping their roster. It shows they're not content with just plugging holes. They want to add high-impact talent that can elevate the team's ceiling. Jonnu Smith could be that missing piece in an offense that has shown flashes, but still needs more consistent weapons around its young quarterback. If Pittsburgh lands him, expect their offense to look more dynamic and unpredictable in 2025. So, Steelers Nation, what do you think? Is Jonnu Smith worth a mid-round pick and a new contract to pair with Pat Freiermuth? Would you be excited to see two athletic, versatile tight ends on the field together for Pittsburgh? Or do you think the Steelers should focus their resources elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get the conversation started. While the potential addition of Jonnu Smith could be a game changer for the Steelers' offense, there are other areas that demand attention if Pittsburgh wants to take a step forward in 2025. The wide receiver position, for instance, has long been a puzzle for the Steelers. For years, fans and analysts alike have pointed to the lack of a true number 2 receiver behind Deontay Johnson as a significant limiting factor. With Johnson's move to the Ravens last offseason, Pittsburgh's receiver core was left in a state of flux. George Pickens, the young wideout with undeniable talent and big playability, is a promising piece, but injuries and inconsistency have somewhat hampered his development. Alongside him, Chase Claypool has shown flashes but struggled to consistently stay on the field and replicate the explosive numbers he posted early in his career. The Steelers desperately need more depth and reliability at the receiver spot, which means that how they approach the draft and free agency will be crucial. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central. Hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers are reportedly preparing to make a historic offer to none other than Patrick Mahomes. The rumor, which is rapidly gaining traction among insiders and fans alike, suggests that the Steelers are ready to break the bank in an unprecedented bid to lure the superstar quarterback away from the Kansas City Chiefs. For years, Patrick Mahomes has been the face of the Chiefs franchise, dazzling fans with his incredible arm talent, game-changing plays, and leadership on and off the field. His MVP performances, Super Bowl victory, and consistent dominance have made him arguably the most coveted player in the league. Now, whispers from league sources indicate that Pittsburgh, known for its passionate fan base and rich football tradition, is prepared to challenge the status quo by offering Mahomes a contract package that could rewrite NFL history, while details remain scarce and unconfirmed by official channels. The buzz centers around a potential deal that would surpass any previous quarterback contract in terms of guaranteed money, duration, and performance incentives. Such a move would not only alter the Steelers' offensive landscape, but could also reshape the entire NFL's free agency market, raising questions about salary caps, team strategies, and player loyalty. The Steelers' interest in Mahomes, if true, marks a bold shift in their franchise strategy. Historically known for developing talent through the draft and building strong defenses, Pittsburgh seems ready to pivot towards a more aggressive approach by targeting a marquee player who could elevate their offense to championship contention immediately. This rumored offer may also signal an underlying message to the Chiefs, suggesting that no player, regardless of past success, is untouchable in today's highly competitive league. Reactions from fans have been mixed but overwhelmingly intrigued. Steelers supporters are buzzing with excitement at the prospect of landing a generational talent, while Chiefs fans are bracing for what could be a seismic shift in the balance of power. NFL analysts are speculating on how such a move could impact team dynamics, rivalries, and the future of quarterback negotiations. While it remains to be seen whether Patrick Mahomes would entertain such a move, the mere existence of these rumors has reignited debates about player movement, contract values, and the lengths teams will go to secure their franchise's future. With the NFL offseason already heating up, this potential blockbuster deal could become the most talked about story in sports this year. As of now, all eyes are on the Steelers and Mahomes, waiting to see if this buzz turns into reality or simply fades into another intriguing what-if scenario. One thing is certain, the NFL landscape is never dull, and this rumor has added yet another layer of excitement and speculation for fans across the country. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.